One.
In this video, we'll learn about the highlight tool for Google Docs. So the first thing you need to do is just get it ready. You have to actually apply it to your Google Docs. I find the easiest way is just open up Google and just do a regular Google search for it. So if you search for highlight tool and Google Doc, it should be this first one here. Go ahead and click it. You'll have to go through the setup. So you'll click add to Chrome, I believe is what it says. Mine's already installed. But you'll add it to Chrome. You'll follow all the prompts on the screen to authorize it. And then you should be good to go. So once you have it installed, if you actually come back to this picto chart, that Google Doc image, little piece of paper, it's actually clickable. So if you click on that, it's going to ask you to force a copy of just this random sheet that has information that you can just kind of play and test with. So go ahead and make a copy of it. And once you do that, you'll have this sheet ready to go. Okay, now that when you have the sheet open, go ahead and go up to the top where it says add-ons and go to the highlight tool and click start. Yours will look a tad different than mine because I already have a set of highlighters, but we'll just kind of look to see what the tool has to offer. So up in the top right, you have a highlighter library, and that's just a way to just organize different sets. So you can see this first set that I have is called research, and I just put two random things in with two random colors. You can just add a set and keep adding colors and give it different names, and you can delete sets. So this is my research set that I have. If I want to add more to it, I just hit the word create highlighters. And I don't know if you'll be able to see this on the screen, but I'm just giving it a name. So this is my new one. I'll choose a different color. You have access to the entire color wheel, so I'll make that one orange. And just hit create, and it just adds more to that research highlight set. I can always edit the highlight and delete it. So I'm going to go back to my original two. So how does this work? So I'm just going to randomly pick things in this article just to kind of show you. So let's just say I'm going through and I want to highlight certain vocabulary words or main idea and key details or main characters, whatever it may be. But in this example, it's just two different things, what they found and details in regard to research. Again, completely random. So let's just say this is something that I want that they found. I highlight it and click the color that I'd like. And let's say I want this one to be red, this one to be green, more red. Forgot something up here, another red. And you just continue. Okay. So then once you're finished, it's got a kind of a cool little feature here. Off down to the right, we can then export all these highlights, basically organize them. So I'm going to organize them by color. And then you get a pop-up here. You have a choice. We can take all those things that we highlighted and put them into a brand new document. I'm just going to save this document, which just puts it at the bottom. So I'll go ahead and hit export. And it gives this little pop-up telling that everything's finished. We need to refresh the document. So go ahead and hit refresh. Once it's refreshed, we'll go ahead and scroll to the bottom and you can see what it did here. So what it's done, it's actually giving me a key of what those highlighters meant. And now it's given me a table and pulled out that information and organized it for me in a table format. See, that's a pretty useful and intuitive way to actually use highlighters within Google Docs here. In part two of the video, we'll talk about how a teacher can actually set up um, the highlighters. So for example, I had research highlighters and I could actually share those highlighters to my students so they don't have to go and set up the colors. I kind of preset it up for them, and then what they'll do is actually come in and import those highlighters.